What's going on, guys? If you are anything like me, you may have a ton of DVDs just like this laying around collecting dust, and I assure you this is only the half of it. I've been wanting to do something about this for so long, and today is the day. I'm finally going to set up a media server on a Synology NAS so that I can stream any of my many DVDs wirelessly to my Apple TV or any other device such as a Roku or even your iPhone or iPad. And it's actually pretty easy to set up. Now don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to go from this to this. Let's go! Yo, what's up, guys? Thanks so much for joining me today. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Shane, and on this channel I am building an easy smart home using HomeKit with new videos released every Sunday right here. So being into HomeKit, many of us have Apple TVs, and if not, you probably have some other type of streaming device like a Roku or something like that. I've been using Apple TVs for a couple of years now for things like Netflix, Disney Plus, and even live TV. But I've still got this huge collection of DVDs and Blu-rays, at least a few hundred, that have just been collecting dust. So today I'm finally gonna do something about it by setting up a Plex media server on a Synology NAS. I'd say this has been my daughter's favorite project that I've done so far. I mean, we probably own every Disney movie ever made, it seems like. So I actually let her dig through our collection and pick out all of her favorites, and those are the ones that I began to transfer to the NAS first. And after today, she'll be able to stream anything from our DVD collection wirelessly to our Apple TV or any other device in our home. And speaking of devices in our home, today's video is sponsored by Trend Micro. Their home network security station lets you manage all of your devices, including your smart home devices, from anywhere, and protect all of those devices from viruses, hackers, and vulnerabilities. It also gives you access to strong parental controls and a ton of other awesome features. I've been using this thing in my smart home setup for over a year now, and it has really come in handy for me. I'll put a link for more information as well as a discount code down below. Check it out, and thanks to Trend Micro for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so in order to accomplish this, we're gonna be using a Synology NAS. Now, NAS stands for a Network Attached Storage. It's basically a storage device connected to a network that is always on and accessible from anywhere. It's kind of like having your own little private cloud. Now, I've got to send a huge thank you to Synology for sending me their DS920 Plus. They also provided me with two Ironwolf 14 terabyte drives that I'll be putting into this disk station. And I'm planning on adding even more in the future. Now, there's lots of benefits to using a NAS. You'll get added storage space that is flexible and scalable. This is great for somebody like me who's always dealing with lots of large video files. You can use it for automatic data backups and protection for your computers and files, remote access for those files without relying on a cloud storage plan, and you can even install Homebridge or Hoobs to run on a NAS. Possibly something for a future video right there. But today we're gonna be setting up a Plex media server on our Synology NAS so that we can access all of our movies wirelessly from anywhere in the house or anywhere in the world, really. Now, I'm not gonna go over the entire setup process for the NAS itself, but just know that it was very easy to get up and running. Synology actually has a great video that takes you through the setup process step by step. I'll put a link to that video in the description below. So let's go ahead and jump right in and get this Plex server installed and running on our Synology NAS. Okay, so here we go. I'm on my Mac computer, and I have Safari open here, and this is the interface for my Synology NAS, okay? And again, I'm not going to go into detail on how to get to this point, but if you need some help setting up your NAS, there is a link below to a video by Synology that'll really help in getting you to this point. All right, so what we need to do first is install Plex on our Synology NAS. So to do that, we're going to open up the package center, and you can see here is all the applications that you can install on your Synology. I do want to show you first real quick. There's one called Video Station. And if we search for that, you'll see this one here. This one here is made by Synology, and it's very similar. It doesn't have all the functionality that Plex has, but I did want to point this out because this one is entirely free, so you don't have to pay a subscription or a fee to stream on like your mobile devices, which is one of the limitations with Plex. So again, with Plex we can stream to like our streaming devices like the Apple TV, but in order to stream to like your iPad or your iPhone, you will have to pay for that premium service. With Synology's Video Station application, you can do all that for free. So just something I wanted to point out. But we are going to be installing Plex today, so we are going to search for that. And here is Plex Media Server. So we're going to install this. Okay, and now Plex has been installed. As you can see, it is down here now. One thing we're going to need to do first, let's go into Control Panel and click on Shared Folders, and here you're going to see any volumes that you have set up already, and here you just want to make sure your Plex is now available as a shared folder. I'm going to click on this and I'm going to choose Edit, and we're going to look under Permissions, and I just want to make sure everyone has access that needs to have access here. And so I'm going to grant myself access here to this user and choose OK. Now if we visit our file station, we should see Plex show up here under our NAS, and this library is where I'm going to be placing all of my content. Okay, so if I open this up, you will see here we have a default folder, and then these are folders that I've created. I've got TV shows, movies, home movies, Christmas movies, and you can kind of break these out however you want. You can see if I choose movies, I've got some of the movies that I've digitized here already. If I open one up, and there is just our MKV file. I'll talk a little bit more about this here in a second, but this is the way I like to organize everything personally. I put every movie into its own folder, and the reason I do that, most of these movies like this one will just have the one movie file here, but sometimes you may have a video with some extra features and things like that. That way if you have any bonus features, you know, you can add that stuff in here like deleted scenes, interviews, and things like that. So all your movies can go in here. If you have all of your stuff already saved on like an external hard drive, you can actually plug in that hard drive directly into your NAS, drag your video files into here, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so now that we've got some stuff in our library folder, we'll open up Plex. Alright, so if this is your first time opening Plex or just logging in for the first time, this may look a little bit different to you, but what we're going to do is go to Settings, and then we're going to scroll down and look for our, under Manage, we're going to click on Libraries. Okay, we don't have anything set up now. So what we're going to do first is choose Add Library. I'm going to choose Movies. You can rename it if you want, but I'm going to go with Movies. I'm going to choose Next, Browse Media Folder, and we're going to look for under Volume 1. I see our Plex folder, and then here is that library folder we were just in, and as you can see, here is all of our content that we put in this folder, and I'm going to start with my Movies folder and just choose Add Library. Okay, and now it's adding that as a library in Plex. Let's go ahead and choose a second one. This one will be Movies as well. And this one I'm going to call this Movies. I'm going to call it Kids. Browse, and then Volume 1, choose Plex, Library, and here I have one called, I called it Children Movies here, so I'm going to choose that and tap Add Library, and now it's adding that library as well. Okay, all set. Let's do one more just for the sake of showing here, and we're going to do a TV show one because I have a few of these already, so I'm going to choose that, Volume 1, Plex. I'm going to find that library again, and my TV shows folder, and you can see I only have two of them, SpongeBob Sea Stories and Sons of Anarchy. Two very different TV shows there. Alright, choose Add Library, and then this will be added under my TV shows. Okay, all set there. So now first, if we see under settings, we have general settings. Okay, we have remote access, and you can see here fully accessible outside of your network. You can access this server from signed in Plex apps or in browser. So this means that I can visit this on any browser and access my NAS, the movies and the content that is on my NAS. Also means that this is accessible from any Plex app, meaning my Apple TV app or Roku or wherever it is you want to view your movies. So this is good. And there is a lot of different settings you can kind of look through here, but we're going to skip through all this because we're going to get right to the good stuff. And if I choose home, and let's expand this a little bit. If I tap more, we're now going to see Watley NAS show up here. This is the name of my NAS, and here's our libraries that we just added. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually unpin these because I don't care so much about these for now, and I'm going to pin my content here. Alright, and now we'll see these show up here. If I tap on movies, we'll choose library here instead of recommended, and now you can see all of my movies are populated here. How awesome is this? It comes in with artwork, gives you all kinds of information, cast and crew, even tracks from the movie, related movies that I already have in my library. This is all just so awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go back. One thing I can do is you can actually change album artwork and all kinds of stuff. So I'm not too crazy about this one. So let's see if I tap on edit. Of course, you can change a lot of the information, but all of this is automatically brought in because it recognized that movie that I had in the library. You can add tags, which again, a lot of this is already added for you. If we go into poster, here is some other options that we can choose. So let's see, let's go with this one right here. Okay, save changes, and there we go, changes the album artwork. Sometimes it may not match the movie just right, and if that's the case, you can tap on the three dots and you can choose match, and then it will look for things that you can match. I can do search options, search, and here we go, we see the correct one. I'll choose that. Boom, now it is properly matched. All the information is brought in automatically. So it does a really good job at bringing in all the information, artwork, and everything like that for you. But of course, you can go in there and edit, change things up if you need to. All right, and so there we go. Everything really looks great. Let's go to movies, kids, and again, there's recommended. Let's go to library, and here is all of our kids movies. Again, my daughter is super excited about having all her DVDs finally accessible. Let's go to match this one. We want to fix this Coraline. Let's search. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then I want to show you real quick what TV shows looks like. If I choose on library, you can see we've got C Stories, which looks like I need to import a poster for this one. And Sons of Anarchy, it shows us that we have one season here, so all of our seasons will show up under here if we have more than one. I have seasons, season 1, 13 episodes. If I tap on that, I can choose any episode that I want to watch. I mean, the way this interface lays everything out is just fantastic. Very organized, and I love the way it looks. Now, speaking of that organization, let's go into back to our NAS, and I'm going to open up that file station, and I'm going to go into our library, and I'm going to show you again some of these movies and how they're laid out just to clarify. So let's go into our movies. Now, Van Wilder was one of those that had some extra content. So if I open that up, you see we have trailers and featurettes. Now, there's some very specific naming conventions that you need to do in order for Plex to see everything, categorize it, and for it to show up right, especially when it comes to like special features and bonus content and stuff like that. So there is a really good article. I'm going to link that down below that shows you how to categorize and name all of your content. Again, I just put mine into folders with the title of the movie, and you can add date and year, and there's some other best practices probably that I'm not doing quite yet, but this works well for me. And let's go back to libraries, and I'm going to show you the TV shows. So this is something I had to do a little bit of playing around with, but if we go into Sons of Anarchy, you can see I have season 1. You can see each one of the episodes is titled season 01, episode 01, so I can put all of my seasons in here and all the episodes, and Plex will automatically recognize those based on this naming convention. Now, I did want to mention, if you have a ton of DVDs like I do in your own personal collection, now you may be wondering how to copy all of those discs from your personal collection so you can view them on your Plex server. I'm actually using this app right here called Make MKV. You can download this app for Windows or Macintosh, but what's great about creating these MKV files is that they can also include additional information such as subtitles in different languages that can be saved all within this one file that can be then used when you're watching your stuff on your Apple TV, which I'll show you in a minute. So there you have it. Plex is now set up and installed on our Synology NAS, and we've got a few movies already stored on it. Now let's head over to the living room, fire up the old Apple TV, and see how everything looks over there. Okay, so first things first, download the Plex app on your Apple TV if you haven't already. If it's the first time you're opening this up, you'll need to sign into your Plex account by going to the link here and entering the code on the screen. All right, now we get the ability to customize our navigation, and if you'll notice here, we actually have those libraries available that we set up earlier. I'll turn off some of these that Plex automatically adds, and I'll choose continue. And here is our movies. If we open up the sidebar, we can see all of our movies and TV shows that we stored on the Synology NAS. And also you can see here tons of other content that is also available through Plex, such as movies, TV shows, and even live TV. But I'm gonna go back into my personal library and show you how awesome my movies look on the Apple TV. So let's go into my kids' movies library, and I'll just pick one. Let's go with Coraline, and look how great this is. We have the cast, we have reviews, we even have music tracks from the movie, and below we even have related movies from our own media library. These are all movies that I own that are stored on my Synology NAS. I mean, how cool is this? All right, so I'll go back and let's just choose another movie. I'll choose Igor here, and I'll begin playing this. I want to show you some of the options you get while watching your movies. If we pull down using our Apple TV remote, you can see here you have chapters, you have playback settings where you can adjust the video quality, you can choose different audio and languages, and even enable subtitles. Subtitles and various audio streams are made possible thanks to that information that is embedded in those MKV files that we have stored on the NAS. And if we go back out, I wanted to show you real quick how some of those special features look. I'll choose Van Wilder. I can play the trailer here. And if I scroll down, you can see all of the extras right here. Again, this is all the stuff that is stored on our NAS. I can click any one of these and start playing immediately. All right, so there you go. That's what our Plex media library looks like on our Apple TV when streaming from our Synology disk station. Now, we have streamed a number of movies on the Apple TV that are stored on my new Synology NAS, and we have had zero issues so far. So if you're interested in getting a Synology NAS, they have lots of options available. I'll put an affiliate link to the Synology DS920 Plus that I have down below. If you use the affiliate links, that does help out the channel. Again, big thank you to Synology for providing me with the DS920 Plus. Thanks again to Trend Micro for sponsoring today's video. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so and hit that bell icon for new HomeKit smart home videos published every Sunday right here. And if you want to support the channel even further, consider becoming a member by clicking that join button down below. If you've made it this far, congratulations. Thank you so much for watching today. And until next time, we'll see y'all later.